What you're looking at started as something smaller than a grain of sand. No store, no nursery, no spending money every single spring. Just a seed, the right soil, and the right knowledge. And this garden has been producing strawberries for years without being replanted once. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this yourself. And by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to grow strawberries from seed and keep harvesting them forever. Let's get into it. Before anything else, you need seeds. And I'd recommend starting with alpine strawberries or a day-neutral variety. Here's why. Alpine strawberries are small, incredibly flavorful, and they are the most forgiving strawberry you can grow from seed. They germinate better than most varieties. They don't need as much babying, and they'll start fruiting in their first year. Day-neutral varieties are similar. They produce fruit continuously, from spring to frost, instead of dumping everything on you in one short window and disappearing. Both are beginner-friendly. Both are rewarding. Either one is a good starting point. Now, one thing I want you to understand before we start growing. Strawberry seeds are not like tomato seeds or pepper seeds. You can't just push them into some soil, water them, and expect results. They're slow, they're particular, and they have specific requirements that, if you ignore them, will leave you staring at an empty tray for 6 weeks wondering what went wrong. Follow the steps in this video exactly, and you won't have that problem. Step 1 is cold stratification, and this is non-negotiable. In nature, strawberry seeds fall from the plant at the end of summer. They sit in the soil through an entire winter, cold, dormant, waiting. When spring comes and temperatures rise, that shift from cold to warm is what tells the seed it's safe to germinate. That cold period is not just something that happens to the seed, it's something the seed needs. Without it, germination is going to be slow, patchy, and frustrating. We're going to give the seeds that cold period artificially. Take your seeds and lay them out on a damp paper towel. Not soaking wet, just damp. Fold the towel over so the seeds are sandwiched inside. Slide it into a Ziploc bag, write the date on it, and put it in your refrigerator. Not your freezer, your regular fridge. This one step is the difference between a tray full of seedlings and a tray full of nothing. Don't skip it. After stratification, you're going to sow your seeds. And the setup here matters a lot. Get yourself a seed tray, the kind with small individual cells, and fill it with seed starting mix. This is a specific product, and I want to be clear that regular potting soil will not give you the same results. Seed starting mix is finer, lighter, and drains more efficiently. It gives tiny roots the easiest possible path to grow through. Fill your cells, then press the surface down gently with your fingertip so it's firm and even. Then water the tray before the seeds even go in. You want the mix to be moist all the way through from the start. Now here is the most critical part of sowing strawberries. These seeds need light to germinate. You do not bury them. You do not cover them. You set each seed on top of the soil surface and press it down gently with your finger or a toothpick so it has good contact with the mix. That's the entire planting process. Tweezers make it easier to handle individual seeds without dropping them. 1 or 2 seeds per cell is plenty. If you cover these seeds with soil, even lightly, you are blocking the light they need to trigger germination. A lot of beginners make this mistake because burying seeds is just what we're used to doing. With strawberries, fight that instinct. On the surface, press down, done. Once your seeds are sown, you need to create the right environment and then mostly leave them alone. Cover the tray with a clear plastic humidity dome. If you don't have one, stretch plastic wrap tightly over the top. This keeps the moisture and warmth locked in, so the surface doesn't dry out between waterings. Put the tray somewhere that stays consistently warm. Between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. A heat mat designed for seed starting will hold that temperature perfectly and is worth the investment if you plan to do this regularly. A warm windowsill works too, but the temperature fluctuates more. For light, a grow light positioned a few inches above the tray is the best option. A south-facing window is a decent alternative, but during late winter or early spring when the days are still short, natural light alone sometimes isn't enough. Watering during germination needs to be gentle. The seeds are sitting on the surface, and a heavy pour of water will move them around or bury them. Use a spray bottle and mist the surface whenever it starts to look dry. Better yet, bottom water. Set your tray in a shallow dish of water and let the soil absorb it from below. The moisture travels up through the mix without disturbing anything on the surface. This is genuinely the best way to water at this stage, and it keeps your moisture levels far more consistent. Now you wait. Germination takes anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, depending on your variety, your temperature, and how well the stratification worked. 2 weeks feels fast. 6 weeks feels like forever. Somewhere in that window, you're going to see the tiniest little seedlings starting to push up through the soil. 2 little leaves, almost translucent at first. That's your plant. That's what all of this is for. Once those seedlings are up, resist the urge to do too much. Keep the dome on for the first few days after germination so they can adjust gradually to open air. Then remove it and let them breathe. At this stage, they need consistent moisture. Not wet, not dry, just consistently damp, and as much light as you can give them. The first leaves that appear are called cotyledons. They're small and round, and they don't look anything like a strawberry leaf. Don't worry about those. What you're waiting for are the true leaves, the second set that grows in after the cotyledons. These ones are jagged and shaped like an actual strawberry leaf. Once your seedlings have 2 to 3 true leaves, they're ready to be moved into their own individual pots. Transplanting at this stage is delicate work. The seedlings are tiny and the roots are fragile. Use a toothpick or a pencil to gently loosen the seedling from the cell. Hold it by the leaf, never by the stem. The stem at this age is so fragile that even light pressure from your fingers can bruise it and kill the plant within a day or 2. Lower the seedling into a small pot filled with regular potting mix. Firm the soil gently around it and water it in. Keep them somewhere bright. Keep feeding them once a week with a liquid fertilizer, diluted to half strength. And let them grow. Over the next several weeks, they'll fill out, put on more leaves, and build up a proper root system. This is the slow part, but everything that comes after depends on how well established these plants get before they go outside. When your last frost date has passed, look that up for your area. If you don't know it, it matters. And your seedlings are around 10 to 12 weeks old. It's time to start transitioning them outside. And I want to stress the word transitioning, because you cannot just take a plant that has spent its whole life indoors and put it outside in full sun. It will struggle, and in some cases, it won't recover. What you do is harden them off. Day 1, put them outside in a sheltered spot, somewhere that gets some shade and is protected from wind, for just 1 to 2 hours. Bring them back in. Day 2, leave them out a bit longer. Keep adding time each day over the course of 10 days to 2 weeks. By the end of that process, they can handle a full day of outdoor conditions and they're ready to go in the ground permanently. Plant them somewhere that gets 6 or more hours of direct sunlight. This is not negotiable. Strawberries are sun-hungry, and the sweetness of the fruit is directly tied to how much light the plant receives. Space them 12 to 15 inches apart. They need that room for airflow because crowded strawberry plants get fungal disease and it spreads fast. When you're planting, watch the crown. The crown is that cluster at the top of the root system where all the leaves emerge from. It needs to sit exactly at soil level. Not below it, a buried crown rots. Not above it, exposed roots dry out. Right at the surface, every plant, This is worth the extra minute it takes to get right. Now the part that makes everything worth it. Year 1, your plants are mostly working underground, building roots, getting established, spreading out. You'll get flowers and you'll get some fruit. And the first time you eat a strawberry you grew from seed, you'll understand why people do this. Because it tastes completely different from anything you've bought in a store. Sweeter, more intense, more like what a strawberry is actually supposed to taste like. But year 1 is just the beginning. Because while your plants are establishing, they're also sending out runners. Long, thin stems that creep horizontally across the soil. And wherever they touch the ground, they start forming a new plant. You don't have to do anything. The plant does it on its own. You can let those runners root wherever they land and your patch naturally expands. Or you can pin them into small pots of soil nearby. Let them root in over a few weeks, then cut them loose from the mother plant and move them wherever you want. Free plants, every single season. In fall, after your plants have finished producing, lay a few inches of straw mulch around the crowns. It insulates the roots through winter, holds moisture in the soil, and smothers any weeds trying to get established. When spring comes, pull the mulch back, and your plants will be right there, already putting out new growth ready to go again. Same plants. Another year, more fruit than the year before. Year after year, that's how it works. The patch gets bigger, the harvest gets heavier. You put in the work once and the garden just keeps running. No replanting, no spending money on new starts. Just more strawberries every single year until you decide to stop. That's the whole process, seeds to fruit. And now you have everything you need to do it. If this was helpful, share it with someone who's been thinking about starting a garden. And if you want more videos like this one, you know what to do. See you in the next one.